These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Definitely wish we weren't getting so many reps at the situational master side of things, but we put a huge emphasis on it from day one. Something we talk about every single week, different situations that not only come up for our football team, but for everybody else around the league that can be real learning ops for our team. Just so when those moments come up, there's very little thinking that goes into it and more reacting and playing. And hopefully we've given our guys, plays and schematics that allow them to just play in those moments and be at their best.
Oh, inject it straight into my veins.
I love the coat. Second consecutive week. He's got that jacket with the cut off arms. It's just a good
vest.
The vest, yeah.
A vest.
Well, it looks like a coat. But he doesn't wear it inside. It's basically a coat vest.
It's like an innovative jacket with the sleeves cut off.
It's a coat vest.
It's a vest. Yeah, it's a vest. I think I'm with Declan on this one.
I don't think it's a vest. I think a vest is something that you wear inside. It's a coat vest.
No, a vest is something without sleeves. Right?
Yes. It's a coat.
Can we get some clarification?
It's a coat.
I also love the breakdown of situational football. Is there anything better than situational football?
Nothing's more important. Nothing's more important because football, by its nature, the definition of football is situational.
Dude, third downs, red area. I love how coaches call it the red area, too. It's not the red zone.
Yeah,
the red area.
Because when they don't score, they get the red ass.
Yeah, yes, they do. All right, well, this is Mackey and Judd, daily Minnesota sports, entertainment, therapy, speculation. And over on Purple Daily, we have even more Vikings conversations. You can find that. That's our other daily show. But every week, well, most weeks during the season, we welcome our guy. He is the most passionate Vikings fan we know. He is a draft aficionado who has correctly predicted multiple Vikings draft picks over the last few years. He is none other than Randy Vikes 69 on Twitter. Randy in Cottage Grove.
Thank you.
Buddy, we missed you last week after a big Vikings win in London. We missed you.
Well, that first of all, that game was great because we got to, as you know, the bar opened up a little early, a lot early, 4 or 5 hours early, and but we stayed to watch the whole slate all the way through Sunday night, and it got a little rowdy to be completely honest, because we had the dominant victory obviously in Denver, or whatever it's called, London, and then we watched the Bronco game later, and it was really a treat. It was really a treat to just kind of go into a week and know that there was going to be some studs, but then I didn't get to deliver them because of a legal matter that I had to spend some time in court, in the courtroom. But I believe it is finally resolved and behind me, and I can get my good name back and return to work.
I mean, we don't want to pry too much, but is everything you're sure everything's okay?
It happened a few years ago. The place I used to have employment with a sort of a co-worker who was a fan of the Packers, Packer fan, and incident that happened at work, and I had to go to court in a civil suit to get my good name back, and had to plead guilty, and I did do it. But what I disagreed with was the insinuation that he had no role in the matter. He's a loudmouth. He gets a chirping and yapping, and I took matters into my own hands, and I'll admit it. And now it's behind us, and hopefully I can get my license back as well.
Oh, what did you do when you say took matters into your own hands, Randy?
I enhanced his beverage with urine.
What?
I peed in his coffee. That's what you get when you chirp and yap. You're gonna get in, and it's sterile, by the way. Urine is sterile.
What?
That was
Good.
part of my argument. You can drink someone else's pee; it's fine. I mean, you don't want to, but it's just
Wait, did
gross.
he? Okay, was it like a? Okay, I have so many questions now. What was the beverage that this Packer fan was drinking, and how long did it take him or her to realize that there was an additive substance in there?
He's a guy. He's a bozo. He's drinking coffee, and he put so much sweet stuff in it that he didn't even know. It wasn't until a long time later that everyone was laughing at the bar, and they all looking at me and laughing. And I said, "Don't tell him." And they told him, and then I got put on a leave of absence for a long time, and now I'm hoping I can start having some income again, because the mocking doesn't pay.
Boy, I would. It would be a shame if
Real
this
shame.
somehow we should put an end to this before it starts. For this to become a trend, okay? I would hate for this to become a thing. So just a public service announcement, Vikings fans out there, Mackey and Judd, Purple Day listeners, we do not condone peeing in the beverages of your Packer fan friends, coworkers, or family members.
You
okay?
pee in another cup and you dump it in. That's the way you get it in.
No.
Randy, we're not
Why are
looking
you an
for
expert on this?
instructions.
Yeah.
So have you been fired from this job, or are you hoping to actually return to the previous employer?
I'm hoping to go back, and I was given what they call a gag order to not talk about the person's name.
Okay, I was going to say to not talk about
The person who you
yeah.
peed in their cup
Okay.
was also had a gag order.
Hopefully, we're not making it worse here.
He's
for
a
you.
bozo. He's a bozo, and he knows Rogers is circling the drain. This guy, he's dating a witch. What is this about?
He is
I
dating.
don't know if she's a witch. I think
he
she's
doesn't
just.
care about
Oh,
football.
she's a witch.
I think she's into yoga. I think that's.
Well, she's
Maybe a couple other things.
She's weird, and
She's
he's
weird.
weird, and he doesn't care about football. And that team is circling the drain, and I guess they didn't need Devontae. So you go, Chad, you go ahead and I mean the guy, his name can't say.
No, we'll edit that out for you. Don't worry.
You go ahead and keep chirping and yapping.
Just violated.
Yeah, I mean Bob.
Gag order.
John Doe, I guess is the okay.
But that's why I know it's stable. So that now it didn't just cost me my job; it cost 3 guys at recognition from London.
Well, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with this week's stud stable. Do you just want to focus it on the victory over the Bears? I mean, I guess if you've got 2 weeks to make up for it,
we'll go with the Bears, but I might have a bonus stud this week.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Would you
All
like
right,
the music?
Yeah, let's fire up the music here. And before we get to the stud stable, this particular stud stable is presented by our friends over at Spiral Light Candles, Judd. The Victory Candle has been lit 3 weeks in a row.
That's exactly right. And yes, Spiral Light Candles, a great gift. I mean, a great gift, a great candle. So if you're shopping for a present for mom or your girlfriend or wife for the birthday, anniversary, it's great. But I want to talk to you about the Purple Positivity Candle, because the Purple Positivity Candle, which debuted this season, is clearly very good luck. So if you are a fan of the purple, and you know what, things get a little intense around the house on game day, you're nervous, you're pacing around, Spiral Light Candles, Purple Positivity Candle will calm you down. It's perfect. SpiralLightCandles.com. SpiralLightCandles.com. Check them out.
All right, let's get it. All right, Randy, if you're ready, then let's fire up here another stud stable. This is the Week 5 stud stable from our friend Randy Vikes 69 on Twitter, Randy in Cottage Grove.
This is Week 5. We beat the Bears. We improved to 4-1, and it's going to keep on trucking. 2 weeks ago, I said we're not going to lose for a while. It's been 2 in a row now, and I'll tell you right now, 100%. This guy has had a long journey so far, getting to be the point in the NFL where you can call him the S word, the 4-letter S word that I'm about to call him, because he made his first appearance, I believe, in the stable, and this is Christian Darasaw. Christian, you were handling men out there. You are an absolute anchor. You're the kind of guy who could be a 10-year tackle, the kind of guy that people like to look at and say, he's got a little something. He's got a little bit of something, and he might be an all-pro, maybe even this year. But for now, this week, Christian, against the Bears, you are a stud.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Zero pressures allowed. Zero pressures allowed this week, Randy.
Here's another guy, and I bet Quessy gets a few funny little texts from Rick Spielman this week, because he's another guy that Rick drafted who's starting to look really good. I mean, really good. And that's a guy who, who knew? Maybe it was a scheme thing too, but right now he's someone who I want in my corner. I want covering those number one wideouts. And that's a guy who right now really saved the game for us, because he pulled it away from ISM, as they call him, Smith Marsetti. And he knew what to do. He knew he'd be loose and jocking that ball around to the side. He snagged it. And that's Cameron Dantzler. Cameron Dantzler, you are a super stud.
Yes.
Love it.
And here's a guy who hasn't yet made an appearance in the stud stable this year. He made the dud stable, but he did a pretty good job on Sunday, partly because of the bonus guy you're about to hear. But right now, I'm going to give this guy credit. He executed the game plan put in front of him, and I do like that. I still want him to cuss more, but right now, for this week, Kirk Cousins, you are a super duper stud.
Yeah, I'd like him to cuss more too, to be honest with you. I think I'm in lockstep with Randy here. Just a sprinkling of F-bombs once in a while would really take his game to the next level.
And this week, we get a bonus. Partly because the thing with Chad and everything goofed up my London one.
We'll edit that out
with
too.
the guy. But the bonus stud is going to be also a tie for super duper stud, and that is KOC. KOC, you are the guy who gets everyone moving around. If you look at footage of the Zim era versus now, there's so much more happening. There's so many more layers. Everyone's running on different levels. There's little jukes. There's flea flicks. It didn't work, but it got me snug. And this week, KOC, you put the old number 8 in a position to succeed with no risky throws, basically. And you, by the way, you can cuss too, KOC. I've heard it. And this week, you are a tie for super duper stud.
And he's gone. All right.
That's it.
He's just gone.
That's it. So, in other words, Chad might actually, there might be more trouble now that he has dropped a name that he was not supposed to drop.
We'll edit that out too. Or not.
Do you want to know Chad's last name? I'd be curious. What if we surprised Randy?
I don't want to get him in trouble.
By Chad. What if we brought him on and allowed him
great.
to duke it out on the show?
Oh boy.
We should do that. Yeah. So
just surprise him too. Be like, before we start.
That'll go well.
Stud stable. Let's get.
I can't imagine, putting urine in someone's cup as a slam. That I don't have like many mortal enemies that I could think of. Like I would love to put that in their own beverage.
Well, 2 questions off that. If you did it, would you get more satisfaction if they drank the rest of the cup and didn't find out, or would you want them to find out so that they knew? What would satisfy you more?
That's a good curveball. I think the first. I think I would want them not to know that they just drank my urine.
So it's just your own little sort of dominant
pride
secret there. That
pride.
I just dominated.
Give me the pride.
You
Give me
just
the pride.
drank a full cup of
One of those
urine.
things I've never even thought about.
Well, now you do.
Well, let me plant this one in your head. Do you think at any point in your life someone at a restaurant behind the scenes has done something to your food and you ate it?
1,000%. Yeah.
Most definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Easily.
It doesn't bother me.
I have never once
Kinda
sent
bothers
food
me.
back. I could have ordered the complete wrong thing. I will never, ever send food back.
You know what? I've got a weird one here because it's the one thing, like a lot of stuff bugs me, but this one thing doesn't, and I don't know why. And it's some type of flaw in my brain. You know what doesn't bug me? And it can't be a lot, but if you find a stray hair in your food, it doesn't bother me. And I don't know why.
Dude,
That is preposterous, Judd.
I know.
That is so
I'm
gross.
telling you, I just said it's a flaw in my brain. Like if I find like a hair, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Pick it up. I know.
okay. You're saying
I'm not saying it's normal. I'm saying it doesn't bother me, and I don't know why.
Well, there's different kinds of hair though that I want to.
Oh yeah.
So if you
okay.
find a strand of like someone's
if let's say
like if it's a long hair,
let's say
that's disgusting, but it's a little bit more passable than if it is a shorter hair.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, okay, let's just go through this quickly. Restaurant, blonde waitress, find a long blonde hair that's obviously just fallen out and into my food. It doesn't bother me.
What if it's a gray hair?
No, if I'm selling one hair, it doesn't bother me, and it's very weird. I don't know why.
I guess
I'm not defending
I'm
myself.
kind of with Declan in that it takes a lot for me to send food back. Like if the inside of the burger is bleeding or something, or if
I've never sent
there's
food back.
like salmonella drops inside the chicken breast, I'll probably send it back. One time I did find there was a hairpin in a burger that I was eating, like literally someone's hairpin.
Okay, that's
Sent
weird.
that one back. That was a while ago.
You know what? My old man would send food back if it wasn't warm enough. It's never bothered me.
So he definitely had people that spit or
Yeah.
scratch themselves, and
it's
like.
But I mean, have you ever gotten food and it's not been up to your standards of warm, and you've like sent it back?
I eat pretty much anything. Who am I?
Yeah,
Yep.
me too.
Who am I kidding?
It doesn't. It doesn't bother me.
Unless there's a gigantic cluster of hair, in which case.
Well, if there's a cluster of hair, I'm just saying that's a very weird thing about me, and I don't know why it doesn't bug me more.
Anyways, let me ask you this Vikings question here. Now that we know that about, hey, if you're a waiter or a waitress out there, you've got some liberty to, hover over Judd's food with hair. If you're a bearded man,
I don't want
just
dandruff.
scratch
Don't
your
do
beard
dandruff.
over the food.
No dandruff.
Yeah, a little dandruff snowstorm over Judd's chicken
Would you
Alfredo.
like some pepper? No. Would you like some dandruff? Sure.
Dandruff snowstorm.
Is that enough?
That'd be great.
Tell me when.
We're all very high on the Vikings so far this year. You know, Randy just gave his stud stable. What is your favorite thing you've seen out of the Vikings so far this season?
Oh, for me, it's very, very simple. It's the evolution on a weekly basis of an offense that I had grown to absolutely abhor for the most part. Like, I mean, what we saw last year in scripted plays, and then after that drove you crazy, right? Because it's like, oh, there's a lot of possibility here. No, there's not. We're just going to do this. 2nd and 18, consistently giving the ball to Dalvin. So yeah, it's not hard. I love to see the fact that O'Connell is bringing concepts here that are fun to watch. Like, that's the thing is, I want the games to be fun. Because I know that they're not going to be entirely, and this is a league-wide thing, well played, but like, can you make it fun? Can you make it interesting? So, slam dunk offense.
Similar to Judd, yeah, just what the personnel they're doing and just changing up their philosophies. I talked a little bit, I think, on Purple Daily last week when Phil was out, and then also on the state of our offense, just that they're using 3 wide receivers. They're using 11 personnel. They're actually the best 1st and 10 team in the NFL in terms of yards gained and first down this season. And a lot of that is because they are opting to pass the ball, and they're having people on the football field that put them in good positions to move the chains down the field. So just little subtle things like that, and embracing offense and getting with the times in the NFL. You might have one of the top 5 running backs in the league in Dalvin Cook, but that doesn't mean you have to give it to him. Doesn't mean you have to continually pound it down their throat with Dalvin Cook. Mix it up. You have the personnel on offense to do so. That's probably what I've been very most impressed with so far.
This is going to sound really stupid, but I just love the vibes. I think the vibe around this team just feels so different and lighter, and it just felt like, God, Mike Zimmer just looked stressed. The guy had everything, even just from like his appearance, just the red-faced scowl, and he's mad all the time, and he's like, when did Mike Zimmer ever have fun at a press conference the last couple of years too? It's just like, guy, I get that it's kind of stressful, but at the end of the day, you make a ton of money to do what you want to do for a living. There's no way to make it kind of fun for the people in and around the organization. He just needed to take a time out and go chill for a year before he re-entered the NFL workforce. And it may be KOC at the end of this thing. Maybe check back in 3 or 4 years, maybe he'll be all stressed out too, because these jobs tend to be really stressful. But everything from KOC's vibe to Kirk Cousins wearing the diamond chain on the team bus or flight or whatever it was, and even when you look at these videos the Vikings send out on social media from the locker room, the game ball videos that are like 60 seconds long. Mm-hmm. You got Ziggy Wilf in the background of these videos with a big goofy smile on his face. It's just, everything just feels like just a little lighter, a little looser, and room for guys to not be perfect, but improve at the same time. So I guess I'm just kind of drinking the vibes Kool-Aid early in this season.
Well, and it helps a lot too that at least externally for this year, there's not expectations. Like internally there are, but externally there's not, which helps because like all of that pressure is basically off. Because I mean, I think outside of that team, there's not a big expectation of this team's going to be fit great, and so you have the convergence of a coach who definitely brings a new vibe, which helps a lot. A schedule which is certainly seems to be and growing more favorable, and the opportunity to win some games. And so like that's where next year I think is going to be intriguing because I think they're definitely going to come into training camp next year with national expectations. And that's like another step of okay, there's pressure on now. I think internally they are like let's show people what we can do, and offensively they sure as hell have the personnel to do that.
Yep. Yeah, it is kind of in that way. It's not that there's like the Jaguars make a playoff run. It's like, whoa, this is crazy. It wouldn't be like that if the Vikings continued this run. But yeah, they weren't being talked about among the top 8 to 10 teams in the NFL, and now they are. So they've kind of got this free pass to overachieve expectations here for the next 3 months.
It's a little bit like, if I dare say, the 2019 Twins. Rocco first year, things were fun. That team got pretty tight. They had one specific area at which they thrived, which was for them home runs. So like it feels a little bit like that because that was all to me unexpected success that became more fun.
Yeah, and it was a super fun team to root for. This team, if this team feels a lot more fun to root for than a lot of previous Vikings teams because of vibes, really. Like the head coach is just a likable guy who seems to connect well with people. And maybe I'm just like misremembering here, copyright Roger Clemens or Andy Pettit, whichever one of those guys said the word misremember. But the Vikings have put out a couple videos. There was one in particular this week where I think the kid's name was Charlie, and he blew the horn before the game at the stadium. But then they put a video out, and his wish was to play catch on a football field with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. So he had like a Vikings uniform on, and Kevin O'Connell had like prepared notes that he was kind of like addressing the team. Hey everyone, this is Charlie, and he's going through this battle, and we can all pull some inspiration from Charlie. And he's explaining to the whole organization who Charlie is, and hey buddy, here's Adam Thielen, and he's super engaged in it. This is an unfair question because maybe he did, but like, how often did you see videos like that of Mike Zimmer just like, hey, like let's do something fun, bring in a kid? I'm sure he did some stuff like that, but
Yeah. I don't know that they did as much with it though, and the thing that I will give O'Connell across the board is he is a really good public speaker.
Very good. Yes.
Like he is off the charts damn near. He's one of the best I've seen, especially for a new guy. There's never nerves. He's always well-spoken, and the message is always like right on point. Like he rambles on, but it's still on point, if that makes sense.
He is in control.
He's good.
Yes. That's a good point. Sometimes coaches can get like really reactive, and and again, maybe he will be reactive at some point if the pressure cranks up, but like he's in control now.
Dan Campbell is likable, but he's incredibly intense, right? And like you can feel and it's funny, but I'm just saying O'Connell's intense, but like his post-game stuff where he awards the game balls is really good too. Like it's not like this it's like this, okay, we did this, we did that, and Bleepin did this. It's just well done by him.
It's good vibes.
It is.
It's good vibes.
No, you're right about that. The vibes have totally changed.
Yeah. So